How would you say somebody just watching us and thinking, interesting, I would like to get in? What are like the steps the person could take, to eventually get to your position? What's up, HackerProof family? We back again. Today we have Amy, Business Analyst, and HackerProof Ambassador. I'll give her a chance for her to, introduce herself.
Hey guys, my name is Amy. I'm a ServiceNow Business Analyst, and I'm also an event ambassador for HackerProofHQ.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. I'd like to say congratulations on your new home.
Thank you.
So basically, what got you started in, Business Analyst?
So once I graduated college, I was kind of just searching for an ideal role for myself, and I kind of didn't know what that was. So I would look through job applications that kind of aligned with what I saw myself doing, and I just figured out what I needed to do to get it done, and I just executed it. So it took me a while. It was a journey, but by God's grace, I'm in the career field that I love and looking forward to kind of just expanding my knowledge in business analysis and other endeavors.
Nice.
That's
So
good.
for those who don't know what a BA or a business analyst is, I'll give you the chance to expand on it and also walk us through your journey.
Yeah.
So a business analyst is a conduit between IT and the business. So typically we're the ones gathering the requirements and anything that's necessary in order to build a quality product or service. So a business analyst can play a role in any kind of project, and we kind of keep everything together. So a lot of the time I'm meeting with clients, or so to say the business, and I'm trying to understand exactly what they're trying to build or what problems they're trying to solve. Because most times you're working on maybe a new product or you're maintaining an existing product. So I kind of work on both sides. Since I have been in the field for a little while, I've kind of gotten comfortable taking on different challenges within projects. So I bring what the business gives me to my developers, and we kind of just hammer it out. We follow Scrum or Agile, so to say, and we oversee the whole entire project, and we just make sure that at the end of the day, the business has a quality product, and we also maintain it afterwards.
Okay, that's nice. So would you say in your role it's very important to understand the business side? Because I feel like in your role, I think it's more important, right, than like other type of tech roles.
Yeah, I would say all technical roles are important because we all come together to build something, right? But I would say that within the environment that I work in, we have to just kind of ensure that we understand the business or the customer, because it plays a role into what we're building. So it could look different day to day, right? Sometimes it's people's personalities, right? Sometimes we have to understand exactly what the application or product we're building is and what problems do it solve. Sometimes we have to look at data and try to draw insights to understand exactly where we plan on building and how we want to deliver impact. So the business is just this whole big world of get to know them and figure out what they want. And then I take it, digest it, and I bring it to my developers. So the developers are more technical, right? So I have to kind of change up my strategy or change up my communication almost because they want to know what's being built. And there's also technicalities that I need to understand as well that the business may not. So again, it's like a conduit. It's like the middleman between business and IT, and we all work together to build a lot of different things that you might see day to day.
So
sounds like a lot.
So what would you say is like the most valuable skill for someone in your role? Is that communication? Is that more like just being very detailed, understanding like the processes that the business is requiring, and then being able to translate that over to your developers? Because there's almost two different languages talking with the business people versus like, developers.
Right. I would say communication, because almost every day I have to tailor the way I talk. Sometimes I'm maybe demoing things to people who don't have a clue about what we built. And I have to say it in a way that they understand. And then I also need to be very detail-oriented, like you mentioned, because some of these applications or systems that we're building, there's a lot of technicalities that go to it, right? So that's where that IT knowledge comes forward. You want to understand the technicals of your application or product, because the business will be coming to you asking questions. And if there's a bug or an anomaly or something wrong, you need to understand, okay, like I can go to this table and find this exact line, or I have to look into the data set and kind of figure out why this is happening. So I feel like for me as a business analyst, I lean on being technical because you get the most money that way.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
And also, it just helps you understand the scope of your project better, and your developers are kind of more appreciative of you, because they don't always gotta break stuff down because you're hungry and you're dedicated and you want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you overpromised a business and then your developers are like, nah, we can't pull that off?
In my early days, yes. So in my first BA role, I was on a web development team, and I'm so grateful for that job because I had a senior business analyst, and he taught me everything I needed to know. And one of the core things he taught me is to not overpromise.
Yeah.
We're going to deliver what we're going to deliver. And he always had this saying of, this is not the Ritz-Carlton. This is not the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
This isn't a luxury hotel.
Yeah.
This is like a 3-4 star hotel. You're going to get what you need.
Yeah.
And he taught me on how to communicate, how to also take in things that customers want in a way that we kind of document it and we look at it, but it's maybe built incrementally. And there's also different ways you can kind of approach it, whereas you're kind of trying to prioritize, is this really what you want, or you think it's Christmas and you're gonna get everything that you want. So I go into it sometimes like a savage, because sometimes I have to say no.
Say no.
Right.
So like expanding on that, right, has there been a time where like you're like, you know, communicating something, right, but the other team is just not taking it like that, or you guys are going like, you know, back and forth trying to understand something, like, because I know like working with different teams that really don't get it can be frustrating. So can you give us like an example of that in a situation like that?
Yeah. So literally just this past week, I was working with my stakeholders, and to my understanding, they understood everything that was going on with the project as far as the deadlines and some of the challenges that we were working on and running into. And then from, you know, my manager, she's telling me, oh yeah, they still don't understand. I'm like, that's interesting, because, you know, we've had the necessary communications. But like I said, it goes down to tailoring your approach, because people understand differently, and sometimes it just goes into human nature. Some people are visual learners. Some people maybe need to go into the system and maybe a test or lower environment and fill out what we're trying to explain. So in that case, I kind of just delivered more visuals. Like, hey, okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you exactly what we're working on. Okay? And like I said, layman's terms. So I may not say certain things or languages that I may use in my developers. I'll use more simpler terms. So process workflows, visuals, having the user or the customer or business or whoever go into the system in a lower environment, letting them get a feel for it helps, because you want to have that understanding, because you don't want any ambiguity within any of your projects.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
My question will be, from your experience so far, right? And it seems like you're really technical. Do you enjoy the conversations or the relationship with the technical team more than the business side, or is it the business side more than the technical? Which one do you get along with more?
I love my developers. Okay. So I enjoy the conversations with my developers because they get it.
Yeah.
I don't have to, I don't got to figure it out with them. It's like, it is what it is, and what it's not is what it's not. And I'm a team player. I love the rush. I love the adrenaline. So I love when my developers are talking their developer talk, and I'm taking it in. I'm like, okay, this is what you mean. So I love the interactions that we have. And I also see myself as a front line of defense for my developers.
Right.
So I make sure that they don't necessarily always have to talk to the business. I'm there for them, anything that they need. And also they trust me to understand how to get things done and convey it to the business.
Yeah, but that's different though, because like I feel like your role is different, because, you know, most of the times developers just don't get it. I've been in positions like that. You know what I'm saying? And like because we are like, you know, cybersecurity, right? So I've been in positions like that where like they just don't get it. They just you know, focused on like developing the application or the software and just, you know, pushing it out. Right. So that's different, man.
Yeah. Shout out to my devs.
So how would you say somebody just watching us and thinking, yeah, interesting, I would like to get in, what are like the steps the person could take, you know, to eventually get to your position?
That's a great question. I would try to understand what are like the simple things that a BA does, and just try to figure out how you can convey that in your day-to-day life or in your current work. when I was trying to be a BA, I wasn't in a BA role. I was in finance, processing mortgages. So I didn't do anything BA related, but I had to communicate a lot. I had to understand what my underwriters were saying so I could convey that to a buyer. Sometimes we use different softwares, like such as Jira, and Jira kind of has free trials. So if I was going on a trip with my girls, or I was planning an event, I would go in Jira and make it a project. So I used to really get funky with it when I was really trying to be a BA. Okay, I did everything. So I think find out what it is that a BA does and try and see where those skills lie in your current capacity. And if it's not, figure out how to make it work. Make a project with your friends. We're all going on trips. We're all planning events. We're all doing different things within our lives, and you'll be surprised what it correlates to when it comes to the BA role. I will also try to understand just basic IT. I know that a BA role is non-technical, but it helps to be technical because when you get into the field, you're going to realize I should know this, and there's different terminologies and understandings you want to understand, and just kind of being a minority, right? You want to be smarter than everyone, really. Yeah. So you want to be open to learning. I guess I would say third and final point is to also understand how the projects are run. A lot of software projects are built within the Agile framework. So understand that, know that, and the nuances associated with that, so you can know how to lead projects efficiently.
Yeah.
So what's the demand for this role? Because I know you guys are needed in every organization, but these days it just kind of seems like it's much harder to get a job in this role. So I'm trying to understand what the demand is these days.
I would say the demand is kind of high to medium, because I'm always looking for I'm always looking what's out there for me if I was to decide to jump ship. And I feel like once you have your general BA understanding and experience, you have to niche down into maybe a certain software or certain environment, right? And BA is synonymous to a lot of different roles. I do a lot of process work. I've done roles where I was a business process analyst, where I stepped away from just new software projects, and I was looking at very messy, cumbersome processes and trying to find out solutions with the software that I use. Shout out to ServiceNow. So I would say don't be pigeonholed, Find out what it is that you need to do to get yourself in the door and niche down and become a master at it. So don't be a rush to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Niche down, because I think my career elevated once I niched down to a high performing software that is reliable, that's in demand, and companies pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
ServiceNow is big though. So
yeah.
One of the real questions HackerProof followers like to ask is, what's the money looking like, man? Let us know what the money's looking like. That's the key, man.
Just give us a range.
Yeah.
Okay, I can give you a range. For entry level BA, I would start at $75,000 to maybe $110,000.
Really?
I mean, when I was when I was in my finance job, I was just hoping and wishing for $60,000, $75,000. I got way higher than that as an entry level BA.
You're getting money.
And I think the reason why I was able to score so high is because I knew my stuff.
Yeah,
I knew I did the work.
Yeah,
I knew every question they shot at me, I had an answer to. And it came from a lot of the setbacks that I had within that journey. I've had so much interviews where I just didn't get it. So sometimes we're in a position where our back is against the wall and we're getting told no, or you don't know enough, or you don't have enough experience. All of those situations prepare you for that big opportunity. So I feel like I got experience from interviewing. Because if I didn't get that interview, I'm trying to figure out why.
Exactly.
If I didn't get that job,
that's good.
If I didn't understand that question, I'm gonna get it the next time.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
it's I was entry level, but there was she know what she's talking about, and I did.
So I feel like when people are trying to get into tech, right, most people that I've come across, right, they're always they're always looking at the end result. They don't want to go through that progress, that journey. So how important was the journey for you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. The journey was super important to me because it made me feel very humble and present in where I was at the moment. Was it hard? Yes. Was I crying and tearing up? Yes, because it was a point where I was unemployed and I was just oh my God, I really need to get this, right? And I was trying to put myself in certain rooms and on certain opportunities that can prepare me for being a BA, but I kept getting shot down. So it's that term, humble beginnings. So when you look back at where you came from, it makes you more grateful, and it makes you cherish where you are. And it also lets you understand if you put in the work and the dedication, you're only going to grow.
I like that. So we are in the world of like AI right now, right? AI is you know, it's coming up, it's booming, taking people's jobs, you know. So how has it affected your role, you know, either positively or like negatively?
Right. So I don't think it has impacted my role negatively. I think it really just depends on how you look at AI. I look at AI as an enhancement to what I currently do. And thankfully, the corporation that I work for is AI heavy. They want us to embed AI within our everyday life. They're even asking us to share stories of how we use AI. So I'm happy I don't work for a company that is kind of shying away from it, because everyone needs to work on it or kind of understand it or leverage it in some capacity. And also being as though the ServiceNow platform is triumphing within the AI machine learning space. Okay.
I see that.
So there's so much AI capability that's embedded into the software I work for, so I can't run away from it, because they're kind of doing it whereas they're trying to embed it into our modules, within our workflows, within everything we do. And that's just simply how that piece of feature or capability will work versus it being just something that's like added on and optional. So if you're working on the ServiceNow platform, AI is not an option. You're going to see it every day. You're going to see it all day. And they're adopting new companies and building out things that is going to support it.
That's nice.
Awesome.
That's nice.
So you talked about some of the great things you like about being a BA. What are the pain points? Like, what do you just hate about it? There has to be at least something that's just like, you know what I mean?
Sometimes people just like are hard to work with, I would say, and that's every role, right? Yeah. So I would just say sometimes within the business, especially if you're maybe like in a contracting role, they just think that like, do this, and they don't necessarily understand the work or the process that falls behind getting things done. I will also say the meetings, sometimes as a BA, you're going to be in a lot of meetings. I don't think I have the worst of it or the grunt of it, but sometimes I'm just like, I want to just work. I don't want to talk.
Nah, me too. Me too.
Sometimes you might be in so many meetings, you can't even get your work done.
Right. It's like the work starts at like 4 and I get off at 5. Right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, you know. And other than maybe late night deployment sometimes.
Oh yeah, those are tough.
Yeah.
So my thing is outside work, outside BA. Who is Amy? Right? What do you do for fun? What do you do on the side? You know, a girl gotta make your bread some way somehow, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like, just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, who is Amy? I would say I love community. I love spending time with my family and friends. I love to cook. Like, I'm always trying to perfect new recipes.
What kind of food? Let me know.
Well, just pretty much everything. I like to tap into different cuisines, whether it's like Italian, Thai, African, American cuisine. I love to cook for my friends and family. That's like probably something that really just...
Your friends are enjoying then.
Yes. Like,
nah, for real.
Everybody know when you come to my house, you're going to eat. Also, I love to just kind of be active and be one in nature. So I love to take walks. I love to kind of just move my body. Like, we're at that age where we have to take care of ourselves.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So just kind of being active. I love trying new restaurants. I love going new places. I'm a social person. So after I'm done with my priorities and my work during the week, you're going to find me at a rooftop or like doing things with my friends, doing yoga. Like, I'm kind of like at that point in my life where I just want to enjoy life and get out there.
I mean, you know, work hard, play harder, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you balance being not just a woman, but a Black woman in the tech and, you know, BA space? How's that been for you? Because I can speak from my perspective. A lot of jobs that I've been at, it's like the one Black guy out of like 25 people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I am like the only Black woman on my team. I think there's a couple of others that's on the platform team, but not on my direct team. Yeah. So I just be myself. Like, I don't necessarily feel the need to code switch all the time, but I'm also very aware about the things that I say and my mannerisms as well. I would say that I make sure that I build credibility and I create impact. I love taking on things that maybe no one else wants to do or no one else has necessarily thought would be impactful, because it helps my team and it also shows my manager and my higher leaders that how committed I am. But so far, I haven't necessarily been in a situation where I felt like out of place. Actually, I'll take that back. I have. We probably gonna have to get to that in a little bit. But
Let's get to it.
So far, I've been blessed with more opportunities where I felt like I belonged, and I think that helps because it builds your confidence in your workplace and within your career.
Right, that's good. So, I was gonna ask, like, were there any certifications that you took for this role, or were there any specific tools that you had to master, to get you this job, basically?
Right. Yeah. So just starting off at basic level, like if you're trying to be a BA, you should most definitely have your Scrum certification.
Oh, okay.
It's very easy. No excuses for that one. Okay. Yeah. No excuses for that. Since I'm maturing in my role, I did get my CSPO, which is a certified Scrum product owner. Very easy certification, but going deeper into the weeds for once you niche down and figure out exactly how you want to perform as a BA, I would say there's certain skills you want to master, such as testing, right? You want to know how to test software pretty good because, yes, the business or the users test it, but you're testing it from both perspectives, I would say understanding processes, so like Lean Six Sigma, knowing how to build a really great process workflow. That was something I struggled with. I had to start doing it on paper before I started getting good enough to put it on a computer. So knowing that Visio, knowing your BPMN, UML diagramming, and knowing how to build a really good documentation, I would say. Because there's so many different types of documents that you have to use to convey a message and deliver it. So you want to make sure your documentation is crisp and clean. There are no certifications for what I just named, other than the Lean Six Sigma, whether it's a yellow belt and black belt and things like that. Yeah, but as you niche down, you're going to maybe start to find other certifications that make sense for what you do. Like, for example, when I got into the ServiceNow space, I took the Next Gen course. I love free stuff. Okay, I love the free courses. I love the YouTube learning, the Coursera. So Next Gen for ServiceNow is a program where they basically just teach you the whole entire platform for free, and they pay for your admin certification. Oh, yeah. So when I did that course, my career just changed, and it was free, right? Oh, wow. So I would say just take advantage of the courses that make sense to you, and also experience is also important.
That's good.
So if I was trying to switch from security to being a BA, what could that timeline look like? Can I get it done and switch in 90 days? Or what would you say for most people? You know what I mean? Yeah,
I feel like if you had experience in other IT roles, it'll probably be easy for you to transition because you probably already kind of do the stuff in some capacity. Yeah. And if you're in cybersecurity, you're probably technical in some capacity. Yeah. So you may not be a BA, but you can kind of be like some type of non-technical BA adjacent role within cybersecurity, but it probably wouldn't just be business analyst.
Yeah. So is there overlap with your role versus like a CSM that's there touching base every 2 weeks if they're the product?
You mean like a Scrum Master?
Is that a Scrum Master?
Scrum Master.
Yeah, so it does overlap. And when I first started as a BA, I was kind of like a Scrum Master MBA, which was great because I knew how to lead the core meetings that I need to get projects done. So it does overlap because you have to kind of still mitigate roadblocks. You still have to, in some cases, lead those agile ceremonies like sprint planning and backlog refinement. You care about what your developers are doing and if you're on track and what is there that's kind of blocking them. So they're very similar roles to me. I still think of myself as a Scrum Master because sometimes I just go in and just, hey guys, we're going to do our refinement. We're looking at these requirements. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. And that's something that a Scrum Master would do. But also since I'm a BA, I'm on my requirements like glue. So sometimes I just fall into it unknowingly. And I know my Scrum Master probably is like, girl, what are you doing? But I got to do what I got to do to get it done.
Oh, yeah, of course. So I've been hearing about this role. I think it's called Business Intelligence Analyst. What's the difference between that and your role?
So I'll say a business intelligence analyst is way more data focused than a general business analyst. So they're using stuff like Power BI, they're using Tableau, they're using data to build insights and maybe use it towards a product or a service, or they're even understanding what the business needs from a data perspective and building out maybe those dashboards or things like that. That's correlated to just data analytics. like predictive analytics and things like that. So I do use data, but a business intelligence analyst is
It's like
using way more data than me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, things like that. So is it more money? No?
I would say yeah. I mean, they can kind of be similar, but if you know come on now, data science, you gonna make some money as a business intelligence analyst.
Do you have to understand Python too as well for that?
In some roles, yes. You gotta know your SQL. You know, like I said, Power BI, Tableau. You gotta know how to make dashboards. You need to be able to understand messy data sets, draw conclusions. So yeah.
Yeah, because when I was studying out in tech, right, data analyst or business analyst was like one of the roles I was kind of looking at, right? So I was gonna take a course on, I think it was Coursera. I can't remember like where like it was, but the course was like 72 hours long course. I was seeing all this Python, Power BI, and I was like, not for me.
Yeah, like right.
I closed the laptop. I'm like, this is not me.
Gonna be a data analyst. I thought I was gonna be a business intelligence analyst as well too, and I'm like, I can do a little data because you kind of have to, but not too much.
So closing up on this, basically this session, I wanted to ask you, as a HackerProof ambassador, right? How did that come about? How did the opportunity come about? And how's your relationship so far with the guys, like with the group so far?
Okay. Yeah, so I went to a HackerProof event a while ago, and, it was great.
Which of the events? We would like to know.
It was the event that was at Ghost Bar. I don't remember. It was like a panel.
Yeah, that one. The one that we did with, I think it was, what's her name? Yasmin and the other girl.
Yeah, Yasmin.
Yeah.
Yes. I love her.
Yes,
she was there.
That is in tech.
Yeah, and I've seen you guys a lot on like Instagram and I'm from the DMV, right? So like Maryland. So, in DC, we have a lot of networking events. And one of the ways that I got my foot in the door was volunteering for events that I probably didn't have the money for.
Yeah.
So I'll volunteer and I'll do the whole entire event. So when I seen that you guys were kind of like a Houston-based, team, I was like, you know what? I would love to kind of commit to a team in Houston because now I'm older. I feel like I have a bit more experience and have more to contribute. So I saw Daniel. I was like, hey, I'm Amy. I would love to help. And he was like, okay. So, we exchanged contacts. And then he hit me up a couple months ago. This is around Blackest Tech Conference. We all formally met. Yeah. And he was like, I want to bring you on as an event ambassador. And I'm like, perfect, because that's kind of where I want to be. Because I love, like I said, going back to who I am and what I like to do. I love to plan events for my friend and family. And I feel like when I'm at events, I'm always looking for what could be better. How can we enhance this experience and things like that. So it ties into like a passion of mine, just creating quality experiences. And I'm passionate about tech. So that's kind of how I got started. As far as my relationship with the team, I know we're all still kind of new to each other, but I think y'all are pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to, more things like this, more podcasts, more events, and making it happen.
Happy to have you on the team for sure.
Thank you.
So usually around this time of the podcast, we like to give you a chance to put yourself out there. Anything you want to share with the team, any project, any cool things you want to share. If you want people to follow you, you can drop your tag and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess I can just say, my closing remarks, just be yourself in your role. Don't take no for an answer. Continue being hungry. Continue being a curious person. Continue being a learning sponge. And just be confident in who you are and what you want to do with your career. So, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah.
I mean, you can shout out the event.
Yeah. All like it can be. Go ahead. Go ahead with that.
Okay, so HPHQ family, we have an event October 31st. Venue to be determined. Just premium location, right? Stay tuned to our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. We'll be dropping that soon. We are partnering Afrotech, Culture FM.
Yes, sir.
Africans at Microsoft.
Africans at Microsoft. It's going to be big. It's going to be
epic.
Afrotech weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah.
Come out, network, meet people.
Have fun.
Have fun.
It's the opportunity, man, to make it big in life. Peace out. HackerProof, we out.
Bye.
Thank you. See you.